On Thanksgiving Day, 1991, Omaima Nelson cooks a Thanksgiving meal with a special ingredient. Hello, I am the Grin, and joining me tonight is the lovely.
Amari.
Welcome to our podcast, a place where we do not shy away from the gruesome details, where some things may be triggering and hard to hear. Listener discretion is advised, so get yourself in the right space of mind and let's talk about dark shit.
Let's go.
Okay, so today we're going to be I'm going to be presenting a Thanksgiving special. I'm going to be talking about Omaima Nelson. So, born Omaima Ari, she was born and raised in Cairo, Egypt. Exactly when, that her past isn't really well known, but we know that she was born and raised there. Till the age of 18, when she immigrated to the US. Omaima came from a poor family and claimed to have been abused by her father in every way imaginable, and was the victim of female circumcision, which would make sex later in life extremely painful. I'm not going to talk about.
I thought it was impossible though for them unless they get cut open. Cuz don't I'm getting into it now, but don't they also sew it up? Or they just cut it off?
I will let you guys go Google it if you want to. I just feel
Okay.
weird
Because
talking
I
about
haven't
it.
heard about it in a long, long, long time. That's why I was like, wait a
But
minute.
yes. Basically, if you want to take what Amari's telling you right now, it's basically genital mutilation, what
Yes.
she experienced. In 1986, she immigrated to the US following her marriage to an American citizen named Roger Steinbrook. However, she would later divorce him. She stayed in Costa Mesa, California. She got a job as a nanny, but later became a model. Omaima was striking. She would make many heads turn, and she would end up using her beauty to her advantage. She would become a master at seduction. She would eventually start frequenting bars and engage in relationships with different men. She would flirt and eventually sleep with these men, but then she would turn on them. On one occasion, 61-year-old Robert Hansen accused her of robbing him at gunpoint after he was tied up for a consensual bondage session. Richard Gray accused her of putting a knife to his throat and stealing from him during a sex game. In October 1991, however, Omaima met William Bill Nelson while playing pool at a bar in Huntington Beach. This Texas man lived in Costa Mesa after serving 4 years in prison for trying to smuggle 100 tons of marijuana from Mexico through his job.
100 tons?
100 tons. Omaima, 23 at the time, seduces Bill, who was 56, to the point where they marry 2 days after they met.
Wow,
Yeah,
that is some seduction right there.
she
Or
was a
he just,
master.
or he just really just like, I'm tired of being alone.
I mean, I feel like it's both. I feel like this woman was a master of seducing and attracting men, but she would also attract men who were vulnerable. I feel like this man was vulnerable.
Well, yeah, because she would also rob other men through BDSM, and so it sounds like she was the one who was always in charge. So
Yes.
yeah,
Yes.
that's she knew who to target.
Yep. She had a type. Although the couple were very affectionate with each other, friends felt like Omaima only married Bill for his money, which they weren't wrong because the couple's honeymoon phase did not last long at all. On November 28th, 1991, Thanksgiving Day, Omaima Nelson claimed that Bill Nelson assaulted her during their bondage play at their apartment. Omaima managed to break free and struck him with a lamp, and then began stabbing him with a pair of scissors. It was later determined that he had died from being repeatedly stabbed. After the stabbing, Omaima began dismembering him. She began cooking his head, but then changed her mind and stored it in the freezer. She fried his hands to remove his fingerprints. she thought this would work. Parts of him were thrown in the garbage disposal that was being heard used all day by neighbors. She castrated him as revenge for abusing her. She disguised parts of him in their Thanksgiving dinner, and she would later brag to a psychiatrist that she ate parts of him, stating to the psychiatrist in quotes, "The ribs were the best part," end quote. On December 1st, 1991, she tried to convince her ex-boyfriend, Richard Gray, to help her dispose of the rest of Bill, the rest of his body parts, to which he refused, and he told her to leave. When she did, he alerted the cops, who in turn went to her apartment and found blood everywhere. There were parts in pots that were being that looked like they were being ready to be cooked, body parts in the fridge, in the trash, in garbage bags, but Omaima was not there. On December 2nd, 1991, she asked another ex-boyfriend to help her, 27-year-old Jose Esquivel. She offered him $75,000 if he agreed to help her. What she wanted to do was remove Bill's dentures so that he wouldn't be identified that way and just completely skin the head off.
Why skin his head? What?
That way he wouldn't be
Oh.
easily identified to her.
Oh,
She,
I'm sorry. I was confusing skinned with scalped. I was like, why is she removing his hair? Sorry.
oh, Maddie. He agreed and asked her to wait outside while he grabbed his truck. But instead, what this man did is he immediately called the cops.
He said, fuck this.
Fuck this. He's like, I know exactly how you roll. And that money, that 75,000 that she promised him, that was stored in a safe in the house, actually only contained $100. Yeah.
Wow. She's a sweetheart. Oh my
Yeah.
god. Even wait, why would she be in contact with any of her exes? Weren't Didn't she kind of like I'm guessing she had like a little thing of just abusing all of them.
See, that's what I thought too. But I also thought that maybe because these men were easy to manipulate to begin with,
It just fell for it.
she thought that they would fall for it again.
Well, kind
And
of.
she was just being cocky, basically,
Damn.
is what I think.
You definitely need to post a picture of her.
Yes, I will. Do not worry. But yes, cops arrived immediately outside his house and arrested her. During her interrogation, she did change her story. One of her stories being that she claimed that 2 women and 3 men broke into her apartment, drugged drugged her, and then killed Bill, and were framing her for murder.
What would be the reason?
Exactly. There was just too many holes in this story. She just couldn't answer certain questions. She was just fumbling and stumbling on her words. It just didn't make sense.
Yeah, I'm trying to think like that. They would have killed you too if that actually happened.
Yeah.
Like if they actually went in there and did all that they did or what she did.
You would have been dead too.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because they'd be hoping like they wouldn't get caught. So don't leave anybody behind.
exactly. And
Stupid.
yeah, it just didn't make sense. And yeah,
All
nope.
beauty, no brain.
Exactly. But yeah, nobody believed this story. And she was caught in a web of lies. On December 1st, 1991, Omaima's trial began. Bill, who weighed approximately 230 pounds before his death, was discovered, or it was found out that only 100 pounds of him was found.
Oh my god.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, does that mean like there was missing bones and stuff like that?
There was 80 pounds missing, which included his genitals.
So 80. I don't want to say meat. I said
80 pounds of flesh.
80 pounds of flesh and
Flesh,
organs and stuff like
intestines,
that.
and yeah. 80 pounds of him.
Now I want to look that up. Does that mean like our bones weigh 100?
Our bones?
Yeah.
Well, he was a big man. I don't know
I
how.
don't think that's true.
I don't think our bones weigh that much. I think
No.
that's just from intestines and other organs that we have.
Okay, so basically just a lot of the skin she just took
Well,
off.
yeah, our skin is pretty heavy. That I believe is true.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yes, 80 pounds were missing, including the genitals that were never found. Her attorneys pleaded for insanity, but that argument was thrown out because this wasn't the first offense. Keep in mind, although those guys didn't go and come forward at first, they did eventually come forward and say, hey, this woman did this to me.
But oh, so she didn't have that history before she got married?
She only had one, what do you call it? I guess record. I'm trying
Rap
to think.
sheet,
Yeah, rap
jacket.
sheet,
I think
jacket.
yeah.
Amadi out here throwing the
I
slang.
only I heard rap sheet jacket. I just heard. So
Yeah, that she abused one guy, but that was it. But then people started coming forward and saying, "No, this girl's psycho. She did
Mhm.
this to me." And eventually, also, it did not help her that she was showing no remorse while all this was being presented. She was just like, "Yeah, I did it. So what?" Like a smug, like I'm proud of it.
Oh, so she just quickly like left her like five people broke in and did this.
Yeah,
She kind of like
she
just
could.
said it once and like, oh, nobody's gonna
Yeah,
believe
she
me. All right.
quickly changed it. She changed it to, yeah, he was abusing me, and but she didn't act like a victim of abuse.
Mm-hmm.
And when they did, I don't want to say test, like check her for any like sexual abuse marks,
Mm-hmm.
there was none found.
Mm.
So that was also quickly thrown out. It was
It was like
determined that
a
she,
rape kit, right?
yeah, a rape kit basically.
Okay.
But it was determined that she knew what she was doing and she was proud of it. And you know what the craziest thing is?
Mm.
This individual did all this and eventually, even behind bars, attracted a 70-year-old man to be her lover.
So she had a pen pal?
Yes,
Oh my God. And God, was he rich or something?
he was.
Oh my God. Why?
And guess what?
They got married.
They got married.
But he just because he's rich doesn't mean he can help her get out.
He couldn't. And he eventually died. But before he died, made sure to put her in his
Shut
will
up!
and left her a big sum of money.
Shut up! No!
Yes.
Oh my! Why? Did he not know what she did, or did she just like convince him like they're lying? This is all a lie. Like I was framed and blah blah.
So it was said that he was aware of the case, but her
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 evil ways.
manipulation, I guess, was able to convince him. Her lies convinced him, persuaded him into believing her
How long were they married before he
for
passed
a few
away?
years. It
Really?
was not that long. And then when he died, I'm shocked that he actually put her in his will.
So, what was her sentence?
Thank you, Marty. We're going to get there.
Yay.
On January 12th, 1993, Omaima Nelson was convicted of second-degree murder and was sentenced to 27 to life in prison. She was eligible for parole in 2006 but was denied, and was denied again in 2011. She will not be eligible for parole again until 2026.
God, 2
Both
years.
times, 2006 and 2011, it was stated that she was not fit to be released to the public because she was a danger to herself and to the public. Even behind bars, she would pick fights, attack people, attack guards, and
Yeah.
she to this day has shown no remorse of what she did.
Dang. I hope they never let her out. She has money now.
Yes, exactly. And but according to state laws, I believe, she cannot access that money
Mm.
unless she is freed, which it sounds like she might never be freed, which I hope she is not because that is absolutely horrible what she did. Yeah,
I hope
pretty
he put a
sickening.
clause in there that after she gets out of prison, she has to be clean for a whole year. No abusing people, no BDSM play to steal, that kind of
Wouldn't
stuff.
that be a twist?
That'd be so
Wouldn't
funny.
that be a twist? No, yeah. I mean, I've never read a case where you seduce somebody to the point of marrying them and then just giving them, leaving you becoming their heir once they pass and you being behind bars.
Um, no.
I've read pen pals and like people get married, but I
Yeah.
mean nothing like this. This is another next level.
So that means that this man had no family if he was going to give it all to her.
Probably.
Okay, now I want to see what she looks like. I think I know who it is, but I'm not sure if I'm picturing the right person. She had like big curly hair or wavy curly
She had
hair.
curly hair. At the time of her trial, she had bangs.
She gave herself bangs in prison.
I don't know that. I don't know.
Gotta be stylish.
Yeah, but it's crazy. And now I'm also. This is one of those cases where I'm curious to know more about her past because not much is known. Like, what did she do before she immigrated to the U.S. and about her first marriage? We don't know a lot about her first marriage.
But you did say that when she was younger, she was in all kinds of way abused by her father.
Yes, and that she did state that she was abused in many ways by her father, sexually, physically, emotionally.
So that's probably one of the reasons of why she abuses men
Yeah,
and robs from them because they're all pieces of shit to her.
you know what? You're right. But the other thing too that still hasn't really been answered is why Bill? Because
Because he was the only one that she married, right?
yes, but she why did she take it to the point of marrying him and then killing him when the
They
other
were only together for 2 days, though,
yes,
before marrying.
yeah.
So I think if she would have stayed or he would have stayed with her longer without marriage, the same thing would have happened to him. She would have robbed him. But the other guys didn't propose to her immediately. So she's like, psh.
But the other guys were like one night stands.
Oh, they were one night
They were
stands.
one night stands, not Bill. That's why I'm like, why? Why? Like, what did she see in him? And also,
He played a mad pool game.
maybe. And yes, her anger could be probably an answer to why she castrated him. And then God knows what she did to his genitals.
Well, she said supposedly he abused her, right?
Yes.
But she was into that whole BDSM play, so it's I can't really speak for them, but it's consensual abuse play in a way, right? Light
Yeah.
abuse.
No, yeah.
So maybe in her
Absolutely.
mind she was like, "Oh, I didn't agree with this," or he took it too far because I wasn't the one in charge. So since maybe in one of their times that she wasn't the one in charge, so she took it as like that was abuse. So he's abused me.
Maybe.
I don't know. This
But
is just me speaking out of my ass.
I don't know. It's still strange to me because, yes, she kills him, but then she takes it another, which is already strange to me because she hasn't killed anybody else that we know of. And then she takes it to the next level of completely dismembering him. And then takes it another step further and eats parts of him.
Maybe. I don't know. I don't know why. But did they have money? Did he have money?
Bill had money.
So it couldn't be the whole like they don't have enough food. So, and it was Thanksgiving, so
No,
she wanted to make herself a meal. I don't know. She's starving.
no, they had money. They already had a Thanksgiving meal, and she masqueraded parts of him with a turkey as like stuffing.
Oh, my imagination is not.
BT BTW, we are posting this on Thanksgiving, so if you're listening to this after your Thanksgiving dinner, sorry, or even before, it's just
Eat it with your pumpkin pie. Or
enjoy.
listen with your pumpkin pie.
Yeah, I hope you're enjoying your pumpkin pie. Yeah. But yeah, there are just things that I want answers to, but we won't get.
Nobody ever gets answers to any of these true crime cases because none of it makes sense.
It doesn't.
None.
It does not.
Even when the predator, perpetrator, whatever, even when they give an answer of why they done what they did, it still makes no sense to me, honestly. Like, why go through it if you're angry or I don't know. It's just none of it makes sense to me.
I agree.
I will
I
never get answers. I know
I
this.
definitely agree because yeah, this was like pretty shocking. I was just telling Amadi before we started recording that when I was first looking into this case, because I knew I wanted to do it because I've heard of it in the past, and I knew that she would eventually eat him, that I was going to do it during that whole failed week of Halloween spooky episodes. But then I found out, and I don't know why I completely forgot this detail that she did this on Thanksgiving Day. So I'm like, oh, well, my week is Thanksgiving week, so here you go.
Gobble, gobble.
But yes, I hope you enjoyed our Thanksgiving special. And with that, I do want to take the time and say that I'm very thankful for each of you who tune in every week, even though as of late we have been a bit more sporadic with our episodes. Thank you for being patient with us and still tuning in and giving us listens, following us. Thank you so much. You know, Amadi and I started this and only had literally my brother and a few friends listen. And now, like, it's growing. Like, there's more of you tuning in and actually
No.
listening to us and care what we think, care what we want to, like, what we have to say, our commentary, even though we can be awkward and sometimes left speechless at the end of each of these pretty gruesome episodes.
I know for a fact I'm not one of those people that always have something to say. I'm just always like,
Yes, that shocked face. I have those moments as well. But yes, thank you so much. I'm very grateful for you guys. I'm very grateful that I get to do this with an amazing individual, Amari. I'm also very, very grateful and thankful to have you. Um, you know what? I don't know what people's definition of best friends are, but I feel like Amari is mine. Um, it's
you
so
turned
funny.
this all emotional.
It's so funny because one of our weekly listeners is actually Amadi's mom, which I would like to shout out. Um, it's so funny if Amadi would let me share this little funny commentary that she left that she said that Amadi and I sound like a married couple, which I thought was adorable. But yeah, no,
Yeah.
Amadi is such a good friend. I've known her for so long. Amadi, thank you so much for starting this journey with me. I'm very grateful and thankful to have you. Um,
Thank you for saying yes to this.
yeah, this is, I mean, we were already doing it. It's just now we have cameras and equipment. Well, not cameras, recorders and equipment and
Yes.
microphones. But yes, I don't know. I just before this, I would just share my occasional random true crime facts with like my siblings, but now I get to do it. Well, what I hope to be every week with you guys. Thank you
Yes.
so much for listening to us, truly from the bottom of my heart. I hope our community grows, and I can't wait to see what the new year will have in store for us.
Yeah, that's true.
Please, please, please share, subscribe if you haven't, and
Do the
let
whole
us.
like and
Yes,
follow.
please.
Especially to hear Grin get all emotional, and I don't even know what to say because I'm here with a tear in my eye. So grateful for you.
You know what? I am so happy that Amadi's in my life. I'm so happy that I get to do this with a really good friend. And yes, didn't mean to end with Amadi shedding tears over here in the corner, but I will end it here, my friends. And remember to be well
Be safe.
and see you next time. Bye.
Bye.